Do you have a bunch of friends you know cloud gaming would be perfect for, but they're just refusing to try it? Well, you're going to want to check out this video. Join us for how to get friends to try cloud gaming. It's MM2K on CDO. This is the editorial teaser. Let's get into this one. What is up, people? What is up, people? What is up, people? It is your boy MM2K of PNTS Network and CDO News, back again with another episode of the editorial teaser. Now, the purpose of this show is this is a precursor to our show that we do for our members. That's a full podcast. We give you a little snippet of what we're going to talk about in hopes that you will want to be part of the broader discussion. If you do want to be part of the broader discussion, and you're a member, stay tuned for later on today after this video drops, and we will have the members podcast to opine and dive deep into today's subject matter. If you're not a member, fix that immediately. Click on that join button, become a member, and if you join at the second tier or higher, you'll get access to the PNTS network. That is our mother site, or the PNTS network suite of member content. That's content that's on MM2K Gaming, Patreon, Hard Knock Digital Culture, you name it. All right. So with that said, no further ado, let's get into this one. So as we will always do with these videos, we gather inspiration from the site CloudDosage.com. That is the best place to get all your cloud gaming news. And we go there because it's this particular article that really made us jump all over this subject matter. So let's check it out. You know how we do. Let me show you something. All right, so this is the article, and it says, another one bites the dust. The gaming project shuts down. And it reads, we'll just read a little bit of it. It says the last couple of years have seen a tightening of the belts in the tech industry, as well as in startup investing. Partly as a result, a number of cloud gaming services have shuttered. This, of course, includes the elephant in the room, Google Stadia. However, a number of smaller outlets have closed as well. Vortex, a cloud gaming app run by the folks at Remote My App, which been downloaded millions of times, shuttered in early 2022, and were announced that it was closing its beta cloud gaming service back in August of 2023. And just recently, we noticed the Gaming Project, a cloud gaming service catering to India that we had been tracking, has shuttered as of September 2023. We also have a post of their post to their consumers, letting them know all that, and we have that in the article. So with all that said, it's very scary times for a lot of cloud gaming consumers. That being said, I'm optimistic that a lot of these platforms will remain. It was sad to see Google Stadia go, of course, and we've talked about that ad nauseum. I won't go over that here in this video. But I think we have a plethora of high level or AAA serving clients. And then we got a level of like indie clients as well that I believe is still going to stay in the mix. Yes, it's expensive to run these. It's expensive to have these platforms going. You got to have some investment involved because the average CAGR is growing rapidly, but you got to be able to have enough in the bottom line to support the addition of servers, employees, things like that, while still reinvesting in making your platform grow. So that can be a challenge and something that with the whole industry, the whole gaming industry, we're seeing layoffs everywhere. With the whole gaming industry in flux, you're going to start seeing some of these platforms purge. It's not a sight that you want to see anywhere. But again, the whole gaming industry is in flux. And because of that, I think it's more fathomable that you are going to start seeing the purging of these platforms, and the ones that really take this the most serious will be the ones that remain. And I think that, I mean, we want more options, yes, but I think the more that we have clarity and we know those that are really in it to win it, that's also better for consumers as well. So we don't want one or two of them, but having thousands and thousands and thousands of them right now kind of confuses and murky up the market for even us that are familiar with these platforms, and for those that are like not new to cloud gaming. It makes it more challenging for them, and they just look at it ad nauseum and be like, oh, I don't want to get involved. There's just too many of these things. What is the purpose? What is the handle of each of these platforms? So that's my personal take on it. I mean, I don't want to see any of them close down. However, as time goes on, I think things will get more defined. There are a multitude of reasons, though, for people to try cloud gaming. As the pot of those that are in this start to narrow, it then becomes easier again to define who's who and who's for who to the mainstream gamer. Because look, it's great that we have our safe space and CloudDosage.com and, you know, here on YouTube and so forth, but we want this camp to grow. So in order for this camp to grow, we got to be able to speak in a way that's relatable and extend an olive branch to the mainstream gamer and show them, like we said in the bumper, show our friends that, hey, we know this thing would be great for you. You just got to be willing to try it out. So how do we turn lemons, which is the purging of a lot of these different platforms, how do we turn lemons into lemonade? Well, again, now that we have more clear, defined results of who's going to stick this through, I think we can then start looking at who provides what and more fathomably start having these conversations with our friends. Now, we all know the tangibles, right? Before we get into how we're going to have this conversation with our friends, I think we all know the tangibles, right? We all know why cloud gaming is cool, why cloud gaming is something that we all have fallen in love with or put in our portfolio and use regularly. And those intangibles include accessibility, less friction, and then of course the thing that, you know, they say, oh, these platforms don't have any games. Well, these libraries are growing in most of these platforms, right? And then you have the oddity, which is the ABK deal, which is now going to add more games, more powerhouse name games to more platforms more rapidly. So these libraries are growing. So again, it's the accessibility, the friction removal that it causes in the growing libraries. Those are the tangibles that we all know, and that's why we're over here. However, those tangibles, even though they're like so obvious to us, may not resonate with the average gamer. So here are some things that we're going to want to do when we're talking to our gaming friends and trying to convince them. This is at a high level. Things that we want to do to try to convince our gaming friends to try out cloud gaming. We got to be honest about the flaws. Okay. We can't be in fight mode all the time. I know that this platform was built upon combating lies and over exaggeration of FUD, and that's fine and all from an agenda standpoint. But every gamer that doesn't want to try cloud gaming doesn't have an agenda. They have honest reasons, at least to them, on why they won't give it a try. And there's a way to break them through that unease and convince them, hey, look, man, this ain't just some type of cult thing going on. I mean, these do, again, have tangibles that I feel like I just know would fit your gaming portfolio. But you can't relate. The first thing in relating is being honest and transparent. And we got to be honest about the flaws. When they talk about something that's a negative take or a con in regards to cloud gaming, we got to be honest and say, you know what? That is something that may be an issue. However, and this rolls into our next and segues into our next point. However, you create a relatable scenario. So for instance, if someone says to me, well, you know what? I'll give you an example. I had somebody that was staunchly against cloud gaming, but I knew it would be good for them. And they said, well, you know what? The cloud gaming doesn't have this game or that game or that game. And I said, you know what? Yeah, that is true. I said, so what I do is, I play, I get those games on my PlayStation 5. However, for instance, Geforce Now, and the video Geforce Now has access to the vast majority of those games. I mean, there's very few games that they don't have, particularly this year. They've done a great job in getting everything. And now that they've partnered with APK, Microsoft, because of the APK pending deal, they're getting even more games. So I'm like, so what you get to do now is, because I just heard you talking earlier, this person was a PC gamer. I said, you were talking earlier about how you're tired of buying space, hard drive space. I said, if you can play the game on the Video Geforce Now, I can almost guarantee you, based upon the specs that you told me, the game is going to play better on the Video Geforce Now, for one. And for two, even if you just get Geforce Now priority, which may be on kill with your current setup, you don't even have to you don't have to finagle with hard drive space anymore. And they were sitting there pondering, and they were talking specifically about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And they were like, yeah, I really want to get into Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but there's like Assassin's Creed Valhalla is like a back burner game. And there was another game they were talking about. They said, and I'm constantly having to delete that and put the other game back on, then deleting the other game and putting Valhalla back on. I said, see, that takes care of that. I said, so those back burner games that you play, you can enjoy just on the Video Geforce Now. He was like, yeah, word, I can dig that. So you gotta create a relatable scenario. You got, be honest with the flaws, create a relatable scenario. And last but not least, which we do have a tendency to do, I know I've done it, but then I learned early on to back off and just let it marinate. Don't be overbearing. You got to let people make up their mind. Perfect example, what we did with Doc Dark. We gave Doc Dark a unit. We told him, we want you, I feel like you'll like it, but try it. If you like it, great. We're here for you. If you don't like it, great. We also here for you because we're going to help you articulate your issues with the platform so Google hears, so they understand, hey, look, this is the type of gamer that we got to convince. I think Doc Dark is a perfect example. You can start convincing gamers like him to utilize your platform. Sky's the limit. So those are my takes, friends, on at a high surface level of how to convince people. But the conversation is a lot deeper. We got talking points. We got specific scenarios. I got backdrops and stories, and we're going to get into this specifically and even answer questions for those that have questions on this. This is our editorial topic for this week. This is just a teaser. If you want to see the whole video, join us. Become a member and get all that wonderful, tasty goodness there. With that said, that's it from your boy. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below, because like we always say, who cares what I think? But if you did like what I had to say, check out the links below to follow me. Those links will lead you to the Broadband Bullies PNTS Network, Hard Knock Digital Culture, and yes, here, CloudDosage. With all that said, peace. Have a wonderful gaming day.